Husky's Crypto Cave here. Just walking out to the shed. This tree's got to come down before it falls in the house. And that one over there, that's already fell down. I got to cut it up and whatnot and get that taken care of. That will get in the way of cutting the grass. But we're going out to the shed, just unlocking it. See what the temps are inside. It's a little loud in here, but alrighty. As you can see, 94 degrees, 91 there, 94 is up there. Should put a temperature sensor up at the roof somewhere, because I bet you it's even hotter up there. But it is only 63 degrees outside. Motion detector went off the camera, blink. Yeah. Still gotta fix that intake temperature one. That guy's dead too. But anyway, reason for this video, it's getting a little warm in the shed now. So I'm looking for different options as far as exhausting the heat. Because as far as intake, I think I have plenty of intake. I don't need any more intake, I have plenty. That's not the issue. The issue is all the hot air coming out from these ASICs is not getting exhausted quick enough unless I had the fans cranking. I have that outlet for an ASIC, which I could hook that back up to, probably ideally would be the S19 K Pro. That's probably the one that's creating the most heat, because this one, the S19J104 is already on low power mode. The Pro Plus is on kind of like a low power mode. It's 120 terahash running at about 95. That one's running at about 90. That one's cranking along at 130, and I'm pretty sure that's the culprit for most of the noise. And then the KS2 uses about 1800 watts or so. So that's not using a ton, but it's still using a fair amount. But what I was thinking of, I didn't measure everything to see how tall this is. If it would lay on the side in between here and use this shelving unit and just have them exhausting directly out of the shed. Just build it like a little basically exhaust box around the exit, or even buy some of these and just cut holes and exhaust it right out and just attach a hood to it, but that's an option as well. Actually, I have two of those. I could even just get one kit, but then I would run into the issue of the power supply exhaust. But anyway, so my game plan was, I have a ton of one inch foam board, insulation board, that I use for the walls in the basement. And what I was thinking about doing is moving this shelf back. So I can move it back 6, 8 inches, 10 inches, whatever it is, and see if it's wide enough. I'll have to mess around with it to see if it's wide enough. Hang on a second. I'll hop on here and finagle, clean out this top shelf and see what I can do here quick. Hang on. Alrighty. I have it laid down on the side. This is what I was kind of thinking of. I would have this off. Obviously, this is the exhaust side, so that would technically be going out that way, but just so you can kind of get an idea what my train of thought was. Slide this back. Yeah. It won't interfere with the door as long as I have it in that line there. I can have the shelf scooted over a little bit. It would make it snug to walk back here, but honestly, I don't really walk back there that much, so I really wouldn't need to. If anything, I might have to reach here for the fans or reach for that to change the batteries, but that's really about it. Eventually, I had to replace the batteries in the camera up there in the corner, but what my game plan was, which it looks like it's kind of snug, so there's not a ton of extra room. I was hoping there would be more, because I would prefer to lay it down this way, because when you do it on the outside, I would do like a hood similar to this. I could probably get like floor vents or something like that from the HVAC at like Lowe's or Home Depot or something and utilize that. Whereas if I have them upright, I would have to make a bigger hood that would come down just to keep the weather from going in. So my guess is I would probably have to get one that would come down like halfway past the second fan, just to make sure there's no water getting tossed in if I'd have them close. But if I would build like a little box and have the box offset, yeah, because I could probably even do a box here, up over the power supply and around, and use that going up here, and maybe make it out of wood or something too, or I can figure something out. But basically, game plan would be just to have the ASIC fans themselves drawing the air in through the intake and blowing it directly outside the shed, instead of blowing it into the shed and relying on these fans to exhaust it. Because right now, like I said, it's, let me get my watch pulled up, it is 63 degrees and it's already 94 in the shed. The bottom two fans are at 5, top two are at 8, I believe. Yeah, 8, 5, and 5, as you can see. So when it gets to 80, 90 degrees in here outside, it's going to be even a hell of a lot hotter in here. So I'm just preparing for what's to come. Similar problem to hobbyists, where all the hot air is kind of getting looped up and around, which during the winter was fine because it actually helped keep the shed a little bit warmer and didn't get it too cold. But now when its temps are starting to rise, it's becoming an issue. I mean, it's not an issue yet, but I can foresee it being an issue, and I'm gonna get ahead of the game before it does, because we're gonna be like low 60s, high 50s next couple days, with a period dropping down into the 40s and stuff. There is some rain too, that's gonna screw things up too, it's coming, so I may not be able to even start cutting holes in the shed if it's raining. So that will be an issue. But what I can do, this shelving unit has 4 shelves. Since the electric's going across that one, I probably wouldn't utilize that one. I could say I'll put the S19 K Pro in the bottom. That will get the coolest air, because that one's probably going to be running the hottest. Have that one there. Have the KS2 on the top, because that will be using the least amount of power. And having the 120 Pro Plus right here in the bottom middle. And just bump this out and back, and just exhaust it directly out there. Because if I just build a box that covers the 120 fan, so basically here, up, over, down, and have a bottom plate coming, maybe rested on 2x4s on here just to sit it up off the shelf a little bit, and just having that box coming through here, butting up against the wall, cut the hole here, and just blowing it directly out. And obviously have screen mesh, something like that, against the wall here. Let me get this out of the way here quick. There it is. You'll basically cut a hole like this way, have the box come up to about, let's see, that was there. Say maybe this would be the end of the shelf. That's the end of the fans. Just like you do a little box here, put the screen here. Maybe even put some sound deadening material on the inside just to help dampen the sound. The other thing I was thinking about doing is putting some foam insulation board in here just to help reduce the sound and get some of those sound foam panels, just because I'm starting to notice that S19 K Pro is a little loud. And I didn't get any complaint from the neighbors, which they're not too close, but I don't want it to become an issue. And I'd rather not have it become an issue. So I don't want them coming down here snooping around, see what the hell's going on. They don't need to know. So, but anyway, back to this. So I think on Wednesday is my next day off. It's 3 o'clock now. I still have to order. I'm gonna have to do some measurements to see how long the cables I would need. I don't want the cables running across here, because that would make it even worse. So maybe I can order, maybe put a 2x4 here or something like that, or figure something out, do a bar across there to run the cables down to the PDUs and a network cable. Maybe like 25-foot cables should be more than enough to do all of them. So I'll probably need 6, I believe. That one only takes 1, so 2, 1, 2. maybe even not in that. Maybe I can even get a Fruition Design kit for the S19 K Pro in one of those devices. I do have another AC Infinity inline fan that I could hook up to that guy, quiet that puppy down. That may be even a option as well. Instead of doing all that work, get another AC Infinity, or not AC Infinity, Fruition Design kit for the S19K, and then one of those devices that you can plug into fan controllers that the ASIC itself will control the AC Infinity fan. That could be an option. And just have that go right here and have that exhaust right out too. So that's another thing. I may even try that first because that might be the quickest and cheapest way to do it. And the less work instead of cutting more holes in the shed. Because that exhaust port's already there. I would just have to relocate the KS0, which isn't a big deal. I can just bump that down to the bottom shelf and slide that PDU back. And that will have that room. And yeah, that might be the step one. So I might have to go hop online, order some parts, see if they have a Fruition Design kit for the K Pro and that whatever device it's called that to have the antminer control the AC Infinity fan and see how that works. That might be the first step. But then the next step would be to cut the holes here and have them venting directly outside the what's his face? The shed. Yeah, this one's still pumping out a lot of heat. This one's pretty much blowing right in there and just blowing back, so maybe angle these more towards the exhaust fan. I'm sure it's not helping much, but this one is pretty much shooting right towards the vent. But I just don't want to run too many issues and have everything cranking up, fans screaming, power going through the roof. Because right now there's what, 5,300 watts. That one's 5,500 watts, so that's just about maxed out. That's got a tiny bit of headroom, but as it gets warmer, everything's going to start using more power. The fan speeds are going to increase, so that power usage will go up. This one's got a good bit of headroom on it, so I got plenty of room there. Ideally, I'd love to get that back on because that thing's actually still profitable because of a nice price increase in Cadena. It'd be nice to get that back up and running, but that would be really stretching. I would have to put the K Pro back down to more of a low power mode, maybe bump the power down on that guy as well. I did want to do the T-Swift overclocks on the KS2 at some point, which I didn't do yet because right now that's just running at the stock 2 terahertz, 1200 watts or so. I wouldn't mind bumping that up a bit, but as of now it didn't. But not a whole lot of power left though, so. And I think if I would squeeze in the low power mode, that guy used about 2,000, 2,100 watts. I have about 1,000 here. I could probably save another 1,000 watts by running that in the lower power mode. But that wouldn't really leave me a whole lot of headroom. And that'd be pretty much over the 80% rule. And these things are all pretty much mining a lithium, so that wouldn't leave me any room to switch algos, especially if I had to go to a Kapow-based algo or something like that. I wouldn't have any more power available, so. Game plan was, once the halving hits, knock the power down on that, make that run more efficient. Just maybe even knock that down a little bit more, just to squeeze a little more efficiency out of that one, and same with that as well. So I'll try to keep them running as long as I can, but eventually at some point they're not going to be profitable. So anyway, but that's some of the ideas kicking around in my head to get ready for spring and summer. So there is more equipment, more power being used. Definitely more. There's more ASICs. I did add the K Pro and the KS2 since last summer, so there's definitely more heat being produced. Excuse me. But I want to make sure I'm ahead of the game and not behind the curve. So Actually, it looks like my temperatures actually went up by moving them. So put them back the way they were. That was at 94, creeped up to 96. So that's some of the stuff like I said, I'm doing. I think I might go in, hop online, see if they have a Fruition kit for the S19 K Pros. So I do have that kit, but that one does not include cover the power supply, and I think the power supply is really what's making all the noise. So, and these fans are too, but the other ones are. So, yeah, we got that to look forward to, because that is on the Epic control board, so I would think it should be all right, because it has normal power adapters for the fans, so like the power plugs and the regular 4 pins, and not like the PCI type 4 pins, if you know what I mean. But yeah, anyway, till the next video, which will probably be on Wednesday. We'll catch you later. Have a good one.